Daddy-Daughter Grow Show. This is our second episode, and tonight we're going to be touching on a few different topics. But we're going to start out with our shout-outs. And this week, that's going to be to actually our first two subscribers, and they are...
Mr. Jade and Mrs. Crystal.
Yes, Gene and Crystal were the first two subscribers, so we'd like to shout out to you guys and say thanks for subscribing and following us, and hopefully we can keep putting out some videos that you guys will be interested in watching. So to go over our basic grow supplies tonight, we're going to start out and just keep everything really simple because we're going to delve into all these things more in depth in our deeper look segments in the future, but we'll just kind of brush over everything right now. And we're going to start with the very basic thing. You need a pot to grow in. We use fabric pots because they use what's called air pruning, and basically it's going to help create a much bigger, healthier root mass. I absolutely love these. They work really well. They prevent the roots from spiraling at the bottom of the pot, so those are handy. Daughter over here has a few items. She's going to show you those.
We have...
Yeah, it's going to be hard to pronounce. These are going to be rooting compounds. They help when you're planting your seeds. We use them in our hydroponics, and they work incredibly well when you're doing your transplants. You sprinkle a little bit of that in there when you're going from your little pot to your bigger pot, and that helps promote that root growth and get some nice strong root base going. Then you've got your nutrients. I've got a few different things here. We'll go into that at a later point. But we've got some nutrients, some additives. There's some little things that are going to be really important, and these are things you just kind of pick up over time. I found that these little measured syringes that you get for children's medicine work phenomenally well for measuring out your nutrients. You suck it out of the bottle, squirt it into the bucket, and then you can mix that stuff all in there. Now, once you've done that, you have to know what the pH of your water is. That's pretty important, isn't it? Yes. So to do that, we're going to use... I've actually got a few different items. I like to have a backup because pH is very important. But one of your more basic options is a pH up and pH down solution with the drops, and it comes with this little cylinder. You fill that up, you put a few drops in there, and then you compare the color of the water in here to the bottle, and that'll tell you what your pH is. Also, we have a digital pH pen. This is a little more simple to use, it's a lot quicker, but it's nice to have a backup in case, because these things do need to be calibrated and they're very difficult to take care of, and we'll cover that later as well. We've got some other meters and monitors here. Some of the other real important things is we got a hold of a list like this. This has just got all kinds of different fruits and vegetables and the pH ranges that those are going to be grown best at. Use coincide with these, and we can get that pH range exactly where we need it for each plant. And we're getting some more basic things. A vacuum. You're working with dirt inside, you're gonna make a mess, right? Does Daddy make a mess? Daddy makes a mess, so he's gotta use this to clean it up. Often. That keeps Mommy happy. And lastly, I've got a few drip trays here. Especially when you're using the fabric pots. Fluids come out everywhere. Comes out the sides. You can actually see this is a pot that's been used. You can see the marks from the salts, and we'll actually go ahead and wash this before we use it. So that's going to cover our basic items. Some of the other things that aren't shown here are actually going to be on this other side here, so let's go take a look at that real quick. Alright, let's move this out of the way. Lights are going to be very important. We'll go over that. But down here, we've got a bucket and this odd looking device here. You know what this is called? No, you don't remember? This is a kerosene pump. These are fairly inexpensive. You can grab these at Lowe's or even Walmart carries them. They're anywhere from $7 to $15. These make your life really easy. After you've got your nutrients in here, your water pH, and that's all ready to go, instead of having to lug around a pot and squeeze in between plants, and it just gets really difficult, one of these makes it easy, because then you've got your mixture down in there, you flip the switch, it's battery powered, and then you can go right into each pot, keep that mess down, once again, keeping Daddy out of the doghouse with Mommy.
Mama,
Now we need something to put all these nutrients in and something to use our pump with, and we use reverse osmosis water. We could use tap water. Our tap water is pH actually really neutral. It's 7.2, and there's very little in it. It's usually 50 to 70 parts per million, so there's not a lot of stuff in there. This way we know exactly what's in there. That makes sure that we can keep any issues that we have and be able to pinpoint them a little bit easier. And you'll see how this really comes into play and is very important for hydroponics. And lastly, I've got my big old trash can here. This is our soil bin. And in here we keep our mixture of Fox Farm and Ocean Forest. We did that so that our seedlings weren't getting burnt with the very, very high nutrient Ocean Forest. We kind of blended it out with that Fox Farm Happy Frog to work a little better for us, and it is working a lot better actually. So this segment is going to cover the basic different grow types. And we're going to keep it simple for now. We can go into further detail in a future episode, but for now we're just going to keep it simple. And those three basic grow types are going to be what?
Soil, soilless, such as cocoa and hydroponics.
Exactly. And what have we got going on currently?
Soil.
Soil, yes indeed. And what are we going to be getting up running soon?
Hydroponics.
We certainly are. We're going to delve into a little bit of deep water culture and see how that works for us. Those are the very simple ones. Each one has its own pros and cons. There's not an all-end grow method that's gonna just trump everything else. What your needs are gonna really dictate what grow option you go with. Dip 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 doo.
You just messed up.
I know I messed up. In tonight's segment of A Deeper Look, we're going to take a look into different lighting options. Indoor, you're definitely going to need some kind of way to provide light for your plants. And we've got a few different setups here, and they're going to be used in different ways and different times. And there's so much to get into in lighting. We will do a whole episode in the future dedicated specifically to each of these different categories. But we'll go over the basics tonight with you. Now, in our 4x2 grow tent here, we're currently using a 300 watt Mars Hydro LED. So you think 300 watts, well that's a lot, because if we compare that to, this is a 4-foot T12 lamp, 2 bulbs, that is 80 watts. So not a lot of power coming out of that, and you can see it's fairly long. We've also got one of these here. What's this one?
A plant light.
Yeah, it's just a regular 120 watt plant light. These do work pretty well, but they generate a lot of heat. So if you've got your tent in a basement or a cooler room, or you're in a cooler environment and you can grow outside in your insulated shed or something like that, these might be great because they'll actually put off a great deal of heat. More heat than any other light that we have. And we also have these. You remember what these are?
Those are compact fluorescent.
Fluorescence. Yeah, that's a tricky word, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, these are what a lot of people go to. And this one, for instance, you buy it on the box and it said 300 watts. Well, it doesn't use 300 watts. And that's confusing, especially if you don't know what you're looking for and what your plants are looking for. Now, we had that light at 300 watts and this light at 300 watts. So what's the deal? Well, these are very, very inefficient. It actually only consumes about 65 watts. And these companies use this stuff as a marketing gimmick, but realistically, when it comes to, growing plants, this is really important. The more watts, the better. Something like this Mars Hydro is actually probably a little bit too small for this tent. We really should have 2 of those in there. As you can see, we have to have everything kind of grouped down here in the middle, and that makes it really difficult to let things spread out, and it limits our floor space. And a little side note, timers. These are very important because some of your plants are going to require different photo periods, different varying amounts of times of light depending on what kind of cycle they're at in their, or I'm sorry, what state they are in their life cycle. So these are going to be really handy so that you don't have to try and remember to do that on your own and forget, and then your plants go crazy because they can't figure out what's going on, right? Yes. Delving a little bit deeper into the lights and what your plants are going to need, I've got Daughter here showcasing our Mars Hydro 300. This is fairly small light. They're fairly inexpensive. You can get these on Amazon for usually around 80 bucks. And it's really, it's good for a 2 foot by 2 foot footprint. So again, we've got a 2 by 4. We definitely want to do 2 of these. We'll work that into our budget, hopefully, as the show goes on. Okay, so we know that this is not 300 watts now, but how many watts is it? Well, it takes a little bit of digging, and now you can really find it pretty easily with most LED manufacturers. The rated power, the actual power that it draws, and that's the number that's more important to us than its rated 300 watts. But its actual power draw is going to be right around 132 watts, give or take 5 watts. So we're going to take that and we're going to divide it by our footprint. So we're going to take that total wattage here that it pulls from the wall, which is 132 watts, and we're going to divide that by the footprint that we're trying to cover, which is, for all intents and purposes, 4 square feet, which gives us a light output of 33 watts per square foot. Now that's what I would consider the low end of the spectrum, and you can see they're doing okay, but we really do need a second light in there, and we do need a little bit more power. So 2 of the Mars Hydro 450s would work phenomenally well in this tent, or a 4 bulb, 4 foot long T5 lamp. We'll get into that. I don't have one of those. It's similar to this, but they're going to be much smaller bulbs and a lot more efficient, and they definitely produce a lot more quality light, a lot brighter. So if we wanted to fill up this space perfectly, again, we've got the 33 watts per square foot here. But ideally, we'd want to be probably a little bit higher for my personal liking at 40 to 50 watts per square foot across the entire footprint of the tent, so that you can use that entire grow space instead of having, like we do this time, a bunch of wasted space. It is that time. It is the time for our garden update.
Yay!
So we're going to take a quick look around through here, see how everything's doing. Not a whole lot changed since the last episode. Cherry tomatoes still kind of rocking it back there. And the lettuce is still doing really well. We haven't watered since last time. We thought we were running some overwatering issues, and it looks like it actually had helped this cherry tomato, with the exception of the stem is turning purple on us down here, which is a little bit odd. I guess the other ones are doing it, but not nearly that much. This guy is still chugging along. Not looking so happy, is he? No, but he's holding on. I think
It's curled up.
yeah, but it's a little better, I think, if we let it dry out. That guy's really doing well. Now these are going to look a little extra droopy because right now is actually when their lights normally come on. They're just waking up, and really they've had no light except for this ceiling light up here. Watermelon he's ready to go outside. Oh yeah.
Watermelon
That
has
is ready
grown up.
to go. And that cherry tomato, we're going to get some light onto that girl right there, and we're probably going to get these fed tomorrow, but we'll add that in, and then we'll kind of stick a bunch of that together, and maybe like a in the week segment or something like that. We'll play around with it. We're definitely open to you guys' suggestions, so if there's anything that you'd like to see, or you have any constructive criticisms, don't hesitate to leave them down in the comments below there, and always hit that like button. Keep checking us out. We're just going to keep trying harder. We'll make sure we provide a just entertaining and definitely educational show for you guys. Right? We always want to learn something, huh?
Yep.
Go plants.
Go plants!
Alright guys, thanks for checking out the Daddy-Daughter Grow Show this week. We're trying real hard to make sure we get shows out, and we're going to want to do this every week. Our overall vision is to develop the show into a little bit longer show, on average about 20 minutes. We'll have different things, guests come in, interviews that we'll do. We'll also do a weekly update segment where we'll just kind of add some of the footage that we've taken through the week as we're watering or tending our stuff, transplanting, that kind of thing, so that they can make it in the episodes too. Again, we want to thank our very first subscribers, and we've actually gotten a few more. We're up to 4 subscribers now. So we want to, again, thank you very much for your support. We're very grateful for that, and we hope that we can keep entertaining you, and maybe you learn something, maybe you don't. Maybe we learn something. That's kind of the idea here. We plan to learn a lot and share those experiences with you guys. So we really appreciate it. And definitely come back next week and check out our next episode with Daddy and
Daughter.
the Daddy-Daughter Grow Show.
Plants.
Plants, go plants. All right, good night, guys.